Hey there, you guys. It's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. I'm here with the puppies. Wanting to do a pup date for you guys. This last 24 hours has been super duper scary. I've been, as you guys know, I had been supplemental feeding with the bottle, but the puppies just stopped taking the bottle. And I had a couple puppies actually, that just would not take the bottle at all. And I was trying to make sure that they were getting fed from their mother. But over the last 24 hours, they just took a nosedive. And I had one puppy that I had tried doing what's called syringe feeding, which is where you basically take, it's like the plunger part of a needle. Of like a needle set or whatever. So it's called the syringe. And so, was trying to feed them with that. And, one of the puppies that was just super duper reluctant, she would just let the milk kind of run down her mouth. And then, through trying to get her to kind of use her swallow reflex, she, basically aspirated on it. And, I've done syringe feeding before and didn't have that problem, but this time I did. So I noticed yesterday that she was trying to throw up, which is not normal. It's not okay. And I took her to the vet and they did a bunch of testing on her. They did a fecal, they did a regular examination, they did an x-ray, and they found that she has aspiration pneumonia. And so we did sub-Q fluid because she was dehydrated. Savannah, can you try to keep them quiet, please? Yeah. The dogs are really upset because I've had to keep them put up because I've been dealing with these puppies and I have not had the opportunity to deal with them, and I just need them put away right now. And so anyway, Savannah. Who is it? I don't know. You're not even in there. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really stressed out right now, so I'm not in the best mood. All right. So anyway, so I think that they had some diarrhea, so I've been dealing with that. And that hasn't helped the fact that they haven't been getting enough milk. And so through competition with one another. And so the one puppy that had the aspiration pneumonia, I had contacted Taylor. Those of you may remember, you need to cut it out, preacher. Go lay down. Velocity, cut it out. Now. And so the dogs are being super needy right now because they know I'm stressed out and they know what's going on, and they're only making it worse because they're being so needy. But they don't know any better. So anyway, I had contacted Taylor wanting to see if she could get me access to sub-Q. It's called a ringer system. And I ended up going to my vet instead, just for time. And so she was really concerned about what was going on. And she was like, hey, if you need help, just give me a heads up. Because she works at an emergency vet. And those of you that have been watching for a long time, you might remember Taylor. She was the one that whenever Cashmere had her last litter. I'm going to shut this door. Can you shut the kennel room door just to... Okay. And so Taylor was there whenever Cashmere had her last litter and was having problems. And she is a subscriber and got us into the office really quickly. And she, whenever I was streaming and my phone was starting to die, she, without even asking or anything, she just got us a charger. And anyway, just a wonderful, wonderful person. In fact, to be honest, she's like a guardian angel. I can't even tell you how thankful I am for this woman. And what's interesting is whenever the puppies were born, I think she kind of knew, which most people do. When you have a litter of this size, it's so much work on the mother. And the very first two nipples on most females, not all, but most females, are non-operational for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they're non-operational. And so she doesn't even she basically has, two less nipples than she even should. And so it's even harder on her to nurse 13 puppies. And I mean, as you can see, they look good. They don't look horrible, but they're just getting dehydrated. And so, and then of course there was two that just, no matter what I would do, they would not take a bottle. Actually, I would say that was three. And it's gotten worse. As they've gotten older, they've just gotten less interested in the bottle. And so anyway, so Taylor, whenever I let her know that the puppy had aspiration pneumonia, she was like, hey, you got a lot going on. You're bottle feeding all these puppies. She's like, why don't you let me take her? Because she had offered when they were born, she said, hey, she goes, if you ever have any puppies that have failure to thrive, just let me know. She's like, I'm really good at taking care of those puppies. And failure to thrive is when you have a puppy that just isn't doing well. And there's no clear evidence or theories as to why this happens, okay? But most people, my theory would be that you just have a puppy that just isn't competitive. They're just really tired, and they just sleep a lot, and they just don't have the energy to compete at for nursing from the female. And when you have a large litter like this, they just get left behind. And then all it takes is one day of not eating, and these puppies start to go downhill. And they get tired, and then they have even less energy to nurse, and they can very quickly spiral and die. So I took her up on her offer to take care of that puppy, because the vet even said, he's like, she's probably not going to make it. And puppies at this age, aspiration pneumonia kills a lot of animals. Puppies, as far as that's concerned, it kills humans. Like, it's bad. So I took her over there to her, and literally just how busy my day was. Around 3 o'clock, I think, I took the puppy to the vet. They gave her sub-Q fluid, did all that work on her to see what's going on, diagnosed the issue, and then gave us antibiotics. Then I took the puppy to Taylor, which is about an hour away from me. Dropped the puppy off, went to my corporate address to pick up my dog food, because my dog food comes in on a pallet, and it was delivered yesterday, and it literally is outside of the office because it's on a pallet. So we had to go pick that up. So picked it up, brought it home, and then gave the puppy some sub-Q fluid. At that point, I realized, I was talking to Taylor, and she was talking about tube feeding. And I had never tube fed puppies. I'd never needed to before. I've always been able to just bottle feed, never needed to tube feed. In fact, I didn't really even know it was a thing. And so I ordered a tube feeding kit off Amazon, but it wasn't going to be here till today. And I realized that these puppies had just kind of, over the last 24 hours, had just kind of taken a nosedive. And so I contacted her, and I was like, hey, do you think that you can get me tube feeding kits from your job? I'll pay for it. And she's like, totally, not a problem. So I did sub-Q fluid on these puppies, which is basically you give them water. It's like a hydration fluid, like a saline, between the skin and the muscle in the nape of the neck. And that's how they're able to very quickly absorb the liquid to prevent dehydration. And so we did that, and then I drove to her office, which is like an hour away. Had to wait over an hour just to get the kit, because there was a bunch of dogs that went critical last night. So it just seems like in the dog world, in the animal world, all haywire broke loose last night. That's all I can tell you. My dogs were taking a turn for the worst. They had a ton of critical cases come in right whenever I came in, like 5 or 6 animals came in that were dying last night. And so I had to wait for that. So not complaining at all. I recognized that they always have to go in the order of need. And we weren't as needy as these animals that were literally dying. And so by that time, Taylor had actually come to work. And so she was able to bring it out to me. So I came home, I tube fed some puppies. I learned how to do it very quickly on watching YouTube videos. Hooray, YouTube. And then I, pardon me, and then she offered, she's like, hey, she's like, I know you've got a lot on your plate right now, and tube feeding this many puppies is a lot. She goes, how about I take some of the puppies? And I said, okay. And so I brought her the 2 worst puppies that were in the litter. They were the other 2 that wouldn't bottle feed. And so I took those to her, and they're doing very well. Even the puppy that aspirated is doing very well with her. Oddly enough, the puppy has not thrown up at all in her care, which is wonderful. And so I've just been tube feeding these puppies, and I've been mixing their milk with Pedialyte just to make sure that everybody gets what they need. And then they've been nursing off the mother. And now that there's less of them, I think that that's easier for her to manage. So I do think that we're out of the woods now, and I think everybody's safe. But the last 24 hours were very scary, and I thought that I was going to lose multiple puppies. At one point, I thought I was going to lose half the litter. I was so scared. And, it was just a lot. And then they had diarrhea, which I think was just compounded by the situation. I think it just, the stress of the competition for food and not getting enough food. And as many of you know, I've talked about it, all puppies get worms from their mother, because even if you worm the mother, there are dormant cysts and I don't even know what you would call it. I don't think it's larvae, but they lay dormant in the mammillary glands of females. And so whenever they produce milk, all puppies get worms. That's why anytime you buy a puppy from somebody, they'll tell you, and the puppy's wormed. And so sometimes when you have a litter like this and there are complications with having too many puppies and not getting enough food, the parasites can kind of really just overburden the system further. And so I have already started a worming regimen, which honestly has helped a lot. The diarrhea has gone down. You wouldn't believe it, but this is a brand new blanket. I literally just put this in last night. It's already dirty. I have a new one coming that's in the washer right now, but it isn't near as bad as it was. And so I think we're coming around. I think everybody's coming around, and I'm starting to relax, but it has this has been the hardest litter I've ever had to raise. And it's just, I think it's just one of those, sometimes when I talk to my mentors, and I used to talk about my cashmere litters and stuff, and they used to just like shake their heads, and they would just tell me like, you're, like, don't get used to this. Like, this is not, this is abnormal. You've gotten really lucky. And I kind of was like hoping that wasn't true, to be honest with you. And I was just hoping, maybe these people have whatever, I was thinking, not that they do things wrong or anything, but I was just thinking maybe I just have different luck, and, but my one mentor, he's been doing this 30 years, and he kept telling me, Rachel, it's bound to happen. Horrible things happen, and you just need to be prepared for it. And this was, and I over these last labors and litters and stuff, I think that life puts you through these tests, right? Because you don't know what you don't know until you find out that you don't know it. You know what I mean? And we learn from experience. And so the reason that I have mentors and that they know things is because they went through things. And so you have to go through these trials and tribulations to be able to learn and grow and be better. And I've been, it's just, as hard as it has been, it's like jumping through hurdles. And I feel like, I've been jumping through these hurdles, and and I've been making it. I've been clearing the hurdles, but it has just been, it takes it out of me, and I'm thoroughly exhausted. But I think crossing my fingers, praying to God, but I think that everybody's going to make it. The ones that I was worried about are the ones that Taylor has, and she says they're doing really well. And so, I think we're probably in the clear. And, I just can't thank her enough. She tells me that she feels in debt to me because she loves her dog from me so much. And he's just so special to her, and she just wants to help any way she can, in any way that she can. But I feel like I'm in debt to her because she's always been there for me, you know what I mean? And she's been helping out, and I just feel like she's almost like a guardian angel. And I want to do something for her, and I don't know what to do, but I don't know what I would do without her. And I don't even know what I did to deserve her. But Taylor, if you're watching this, I don't have words for how appreciative I am, and the impact that you've had in our lives. And I just hope that you know that. So anyway, but everybody, that has a puppy in this litter, you guys all, y'all, we all owe something to Taylor here. And so, anyway, yeah, so I guess that's it. I'm going to let Trinity's outside go in the bathroom, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up. I really thought that these puppies were going to die. I thought multiple ones were going to die. My vet even did, the one that had aspiration pneumonia. She's the only one. But in the future, you guys, if you're a breeder or thinking about being a breeder, take it from me. Don't mess with syringe feeding. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk. Just do tube feeding. It sounds scary. It's one of the easiest things I've ever done. It's easier than bottle feeding. Literally, it's easier than bottle feeding. So yeah, from now on, I will never mess with it again, because it's guaranteed nutrition right into the gut. Doesn't matter if they want it or not. You're good to go. There's pretty easy ways of knowing that you're doing it correctly. And, I will never mess with it again. It was foolish, to even do it. And I wish that I had known, but you know what? You don't know until you know. And I had never had to deal with this situation before, so I didn't even know that I needed to know that. So there it is. But I tell you what, man, there's so much hatred against breeders that there really isn't much of a support system for breeders. You know what I mean? Like there isn't, a good book that you can read that teaches you all this stuff or anything like that. You know what I mean? And so, I try to be a resource for people. I try to be here to let you guys learn through my experiences. And so hopefully this helps, and hopefully this saves a puppy's life out there that doesn't get syringe fed. They go ahead and they do the tube feeding. So if you ever need help with that, just give me a heads up, and I'll walk you through it. It's not hard. And anyway, I guess that's it. I'm gonna, like I said, take care of these puppies. I'll probably do a syringe feeding. I've just been trying to make sure that everybody gets hydrated. So I've been doing the Pedialyte with their milk mixture. And then, of course, just letting them nurse off the mother. And honestly, we're right at the cusp of them being old enough to eat solid food and be fine. This would be a whole different story if they were much younger than this. I'm lucky that we're right at the tail end of this. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope it's better than mine. Hope your day and evening and yesterday was better than mine. But we made it through it. I'm thankful, and I'm just trying to focus on the positive and being thankful. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.